Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Today, we are going to go into the definition of what life means, what it is. If we stop for a moment and take a moment to feel what life means for ourselves, we have this continuous flow of events that are happening throughout each moment, moment after moment after moment. That's what we call life, right? It's that succession of instants that together create a cohesive experience of time on one side, of ourselves on the other. And so, what is that flow? How does life really is there for us, and how are we for it too? How do I experience myself through life? How do I make a difference for myself? How do I become a best person throughout life and really grow out of the slumber I've put myself into? That's one aspect. But more importantly, being reborn to myself. And by being reborn to myself, I expand and I access more and more of the magic of life. And that magic applies to not only business, but also our personal life, of course, on all aspects, talking health, relationships, wealth, all of it is applicable here. So let's, without further ado, let's go and deepen our foot in what life means as an entrepreneur, as a change maker, and how can I get into more alignment and coherence with it, so that when I am in flow with my life, I'm being carried towards my vision, towards my goal, and it becomes more and more effortlessly. What is WHOS? Every week we come here on this live event on LinkedIn, and our sole purpose here is to provide support for all the change makers in the world. We are providing snippets of our Heartful method. For the past 30 years, I've been building up this method, trying to understand how I can be the best person I can be in this life. And I figured out, from my standpoint and my point of view, that I needed to really revisit core concepts of our reality for it to make sense to me. So that's what we're doing. The only purpose of that is finding a path of a higher level of coherence, more alignment, a more symphonic you or symphonic business, if that makes sense. And that's what we are doing here. You can obviously come to the Q&A that is coming up soon and after this presentation. But you can also come to our website, tapwhat.com, and here you have a lot of information about the Heartful method and how you can work together, right? And join one of our groups. So, what is life? Oh, we have a bit of an issue, and I apologize for that. This theme is abundance. So, the topic of the day is abundance. Life was last week. I'm sorry for this mishap. So, today's topic, abundance. Abundance is a beautiful topic where we have that relationship with life where we experience two possibilities. One is one of lack, the other is one of abundance. And our mind tend to choose, first and foremost, lack. And the whole idea here is, how can we shift our way of thinking towards more abundance? How can we relate to our life as a way to really clear up any hurdle, any belief, any identification that is stopping us in experiencing a very large quantity of something, a state of having a copious quantity of something, plentifulness. What if I have the option and the choice now, in this very moment, to experience plentifulness in any aspect of your life, whether it is from a health perspective, from a financial perspective, from a relationship perspective? What if we have this possibility now? Even if I am in a state of financial lack, for instance, in this moment, I still have a lot in my bank account. Maybe compared with someone else, not a lot, but still it is a lot of cents or dollars or etc. So that's just one example, obviously. If I look at nature around me, there's abundance of apples and of grass and etc., water. So maybe it's time for us to really shift the way we're looking at things, right? So let's explore what that means around us. One thing that we want to really consider here is that dance between I and the flow, in that infinite flow of life, right? Because life is abundant. It's always in complete abundance with itself, meaning that there are always events coming our way. There are always interactions. There are always thoughts and emotions and physicality actions, right? Physical actions that are taking place. So we have an infinite flow of life coming our way. And the question is, how do I dance with it? How am I connected with it? How do I define myself through it? And that's the whole dance we're going after. Do I want to stay in my little cube as I, and therefore feeling separate from it, from that flow? Or do I choose to open my heart, open myself, and accept what is there, and so that I can really surf it instead of feeling isolated from it? So this is quite an important step for everyone. And I can guarantee that by opening up to it, it becomes easier and easier. It becomes effortlessly, and there is no fear to be had, just opening to it, right? What if we go into a place of joyful discovery thanks to time? What if we actually, each moment, throughout your life, you actually, each experience is a way for you to discover one facet of you. One facet of you that enables you to see the abundance of all the different aspects of you, of how you are, of how do you potentially react, or what you choose to act upon in certain situations against others, right? Against other situations, I meant. So this amazing path, the amazing path from birth to death of this physical body is an opportunity for me to discover more and more and more of myself. You remember these stories about what you did or did not do when you were a kid or a teenager, and now as an adult? They are all an aspect of you that is being discovered, that was being discovered at the time, and that is now part of the construct of who you believe to be. So, can we use each new moment as a way to discover ourselves in a joyful way, and therefore really experience the abundance of ourselves, of time? That is an amazing tool for us to really live one part of ourselves each time. So this is a great way to really illustrate who we are and experience who we are and who we want to be. So each moment, there is that frame within which we are, and we explore the depth of each frame. And as we do so, we have the opportunity to go deep and deep and deep and really explore the abundance of that moment, that depth of that moment. So again, it's another invitation to really live as deep as we can in this present moment. The moment we do that, the more abundance we are in, therefore it invites more abundance to our reality. So to go back to what we were saying earlier, it is an invitation to see the abundance that exists now, because there is plenty of abundance. You just have to look exactly where it is, and really not only find it, but also be present to it and accept it. So this is the invitation of each moment. And you have many, many moments in front of you, right? So there is a lot of abundance there that is for you to explore. And each of these moments is an occasion to surrender to oneness, to that infinite aspect of you that is pure abundance, of course. So in other words, the ego is always insisting, the mind, the masculine principle, is always insisting on segregation, on the fact that it is isolated from, that is held in a very small cube of some sort, right? There are these walls, I know them, and I don't have ... money, relationships, health, etc. Well, it could not be further from the truth, but I still believe that truth, therefore it is. Your core nature, that I amness that we see here at the bottom, that's your really who you are, is all that. And you are believing to be just this. If you opened your heart to yourself, all of a sudden you have access to a lot more. Obviously, at first you're shy and you want to get out there, but not too much, and therefore the faucet is not open that much. And so I allow and enable just a little bit of it. It's okay. And then gradually you open more and more and more, and things start to flow your way, right? So the constant flow of life is not only what life brings to you by default, but also what you are enabling yourself to choose. And that happens in opening your heart, in opening yourself to all that you are, and not just one tiny little bit. And the important bit here is that you are making a choice. And it happens not only because you are envisioning a certain outcome, whether it is good health or wealth or a good relationship, but it's also to align all these aspects of you around it. So it's not only your physical actions, it's also your emotions and your mind, your thoughts. And it is because they are all aligned that together they feed each other, and they strengthen and strengthen and strengthen the expected outcome, the vision that you hold inside you. And therefore, it actually manifests into the reality of life. So it starts to happen in your flow. And that same flow brings about a feedback loop as well, meaning that that flow is bringing you an answer, a feedback that molds your vision as well. So it's a constant circle or dance, we're going back to the first slide with the infinite dance. It's a constant dance between I or self and whatever is unfolding. So in such a state, I lives in a state of constant rebirth and inner death, rebirth, inner death, and letting go of the expectations, the past stories that would like to define what the flow is about, but it's never happening. It's always creating a sense of separation. Abundance is happening only now, in this moment. It's only when I am able to open my heart to it, when I'm able to see with my own eyes and recognize with my own heart that I don't lack anything, that then it can become true in my reality on all areas of my world, right? So in other words, if you recognize, let's say that you don't have enough finance, right? But you do recognize the abundance you have from a health perspective or from a relationship perspective or both. And you also end up recognizing that you have enough right now, in this moment, right? When you focus just in this moment, it's amazing all that you have now. All of a sudden, life will bring you more of that and respond in nature and bringing more of this abundance that you're recognizing. That's maybe the main teaching of this session is let's together find a way to be more present and aware and conscious of the state of abundance we live in. So I suggest that you you make a comment in the comment section about how abundant you are, and I look forward to seeing you in a few minutes. Now we're going to go into a meditation. So close your eyes, take a deep breath. Tick-tock, time passing by. Flick-flock, moments after moments, learning to fly. Joyful steps of discovery into one's heart, carried by the wings of my dreams, one leap at a time. Climbing my way in rhyme, I surrender to thy beauty. I yield tutti. Lead the way, mold thy clay, so that I can be the best expression of thy love. Thank you for being present to this poem, which I believe, unfortunately, is about life. Let me find my book, and we're going to read the one for abundance. So here's the book, and I'm going to read abundance now. Here we go, page 26. Here we go. Yeah, completely different. Here. So close your eyes and be present to the following words. Infinite possibility, eternal choices and experiences, no limit to what can be, but the focus of my eye. Where to look, when to sway, all potentials at my service, for me to select where my eye should lay. Expand, rejoice. All that I want to be, I can experience. For it is the very reason of each unique moment, magnificent dance of endless love. So, as you can see in this poem, infinite possibility, eternal choices and experiences, no limit to what can be, but the focus of my eye. Here we are revisiting this aspect that I was mentioning earlier, that if I focus on a limitation, there it is. But there is no limitation if I look at it from another angle. Where to look, when to sway, all potentials at my service, everything is possible. For me to select where my eye should lay. Again, same idea. Expand, rejoice, all that I want to be, I can experience. So you have, through your capacity to make a conscious choice, the possibility of experiencing all that you want from a business standpoint or personal standpoint as well. For it is the very reason of each unique moment, magnificent dance of endless love. Thank you very much. I will see you in a minute into the Q&A. If you want to join us, go to tapwa.com/whos3 or scan this QR code, and we shall have a conversation about this topic. I apologize for the confusion today, and I'm looking forward to our conversation. Bye.